Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Joey Puntaseca. I just kind of want to do this little pilot. I had this idea in my head the other day. I had a funny thought, and it came to me while I was driving, and so it sparked another idea, and that was, I just wonder, in my head, I feel like I'm kind of funny at times. So I wondered if, while driving to or from work, potentially, hands-free, obviously not, I don't need to hold it, so it's semi-safe, semi-non. I just kind of wondered if it would be funny to make videos. I had a few funny ideas run through my head before, and not today, but made me wonder if I could just record little bits and pieces during driving to or from work. Currently, I'm leaving from work, so I'm headed to the gym as we speak, actually. Also, you guys can comment. I'll talk about any topic, whether I know about it or not. If I don't, before I attempt to drive and talk, I will do some research. But outside of that, today, first thing I want to talk about, because today is kind of crazy, everybody's making a big deal out of it, is I want to talk about that solar total eclipse we got going on there. One of my thoughts is, what is the big deal? This potentially will cause some controversy. My question is, the reason why I'm asking what is such the big deal about it is exactly that. What is actually seeing this total eclipse in your lifetime going to do for you? I'm gonna let you sit and think about that for a minute. For me, you can kind of see the road behind me. Right here. Actually driving. Yes, those are real cars. Real mountain. For me, back to subject, I didn't get to see it because I was at work. I know many of you probably were at work as well and decided to go outside and look at the sun. Personally, even if I had the glasses, I wouldn't want to go outside and look at the sun. I personally think that, in my opinion, that it's pointless. I understand that, I think I heard today that this was the first time in 99 years that I think it's been only in the US, if I heard that correctly. I only vaguely heard because I wasn't really paying attention. Again, because I really didn't care to pay attention. And so for me, I feel like if later in life I ever get to the point where I have grandkids and or great-grandkids, i.e., for example, I don't plan on getting there. One. Side note. If I ever got to that point, total another conversation for another day, I do not feel like as a grandparent talking to kids in the future, that me stepping outside to watch the eclipse was a benefit to my life. That would be 5-10 minutes, however long some of you may have sat out there to watch, of my life that I will never get back. You say, oh, but it's a once in a lifetime thing. I agree with that. It is a once in a lifetime thing, but that's a once in a lifetime thing that I'm gonna get to say I was working, and I don't know, I was working and I got to work during that once in a lifetime thing. There's gonna be many once in a lifetime things that come throughout our lives, and that's just not one that I wanted to go out of my way for. I felt like that was appropriate to talk about today because everybody made such a big deal out of it. People were lining up everywhere going crazy for these glasses. Online, you could only buy them in bundles of like 25, 50, 100. Tell me why you would do that to yourself and go through that just so you can go outside and stare at the sun. I would rather wait until tomorrow, maybe probably even on now, being after the fact, but seeing some of these people who are professional photographers, TV, camera people, whoever else, I'd rather wait and see all these pictures tomorrow because that's going to look so much better than me staring at the sun today. I'll tell you a once in a lifetime opportunity. This fight this weekend is going to be the biggest fight in combat sports. Boxing match between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. That is a whole controversial topic in and of itself that I really don't want to get into because that's going to that'll stir some of you up, probably not the right way. I have some opinions on that, but I'll keep those to myself. But with this, I just kind of wanted to see, with this being a pilot, if this would be something that people would watch. I can be pretty funny at times. And I'm going to attempt to do each one of these videos whenever I get to another one. I'm going to attempt to do them all in one take. Normally, I have music playing, and I Bluetooth it from my phone to my radio, and apparently I can't record a video and play music at the same time. So it killed the music in my car. I'm currently through a point in the mountain where I don't get any cell service, or very, very bare minimum, that I won't even be able to play the radio, I don't think. So we can have something in the background. Kind of. I got a little bit. Alright. Working out. We can talk about that. That's where I'm heading. I know little bits about that. This is a little bit tougher than I thought. It was funnier when I didn't have a camera at my face and I had to think of something on the spot. Before it just kind of came to me. I feel like something that could be really funny. I think of a lot of things. First, I'd like to know a little bit actually about what some of you might think. You can leave comments in the section below. I'm gonna be a little all over the place because that's just kind of how my mind works. So instead of talking about working out really quick, we can hit that topic another day. I want to talk to you guys about jobs. Jobs. Education. School. All of the above. How many of you, us, people in general, how many of us actually have a job within the field in which we studied and went to school for? The percentages are probably pretty crazy, different than what you would expect. I actually too was like this. That in and of itself is the reason, the biggest reason, why while I was in high school, never thought about going to college. Multiple other reasons. But it was never a talked about issue or thing when I was growing up. Didn't really think about it. But outside of that, in the back of my head, I just wondered, why do people go to school, spend all this money, whether they have it, parents have it, saved up, loans, however you afford it or don't afford it? Why do people go to school for something that they find interest in while they are at school, but not enough to go find a job after they graduate, and or can't find a job in that specific field after they graduate, so they end up taking any other job that whether they find fun or just have to for money or whatever the reason happens to be. I just think that too many people get rushed into going to school and jumping into something that they don't necessarily think about ahead of time. I waited a year and a half after high school before I even went to college. The reason I kind of went over. Never thought about it. Didn't want to go to school, waste all this money just to go into something that I wasn't gonna actually to get a degree in something that wasn't actually gonna get a job in. With that being said, I got tired of working, and at the time, I got tired of working just crappy little dead-end jobs that at the time I didn't think were gonna lead anywhere, and not having a social life. All of my friends were either in school or doing who knows what. So what brought me back to school was a social life and a party. I went to school just basically to have fun, and pretty much did just that. I did good. I mean, I came out with a degree. Currently, 4 years later, I finally have a job related to the field. It's currently a job right now. I'm at a point in my life where I don't know what I want to do with my life for the rest of my life. That is something that I cannot fathom, how someone decides that's what they want to do. It blows my mind how somebody can choose something that they think that they will be happy doing every day for the rest of their lives. In essence, the rest of their lives. If you guys can, by all means, I am more power to you. I'm actually kind of jealous if that's the case. Personally, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, of any one thing that would truly make me happy that I want to get up and do every day for the rest of my life. They say that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, and other things along those lines. There's a lot of things I love doing. I love to sleep. Don't get to very much, and when I do, it's never quality. And so far, to this day, I've yet to find a job that will let me sleep. What else did they say? They say all kinds of things. Money doesn't buy happiness. I agree with that 100%. But it does buy you a place to live, things to eat, and clothes to wear. Food, water, shelter, clothing. We all need that. And you have to have a job to be able to do that. If it was up to me, I would find one thing I would love to do, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks like this in this sense. I feel like there's got to be other people out there that think similarly to me, in the sense that if it were up to me, I would do one job or a different job every year for an entire year and do 30 different jobs. If there was a way that I could figure out how to connect them all. So how to go from this job for a year to this job for a year to this job for a year, whether it be in the same area or somewhere on the other side of the globe. For me, preferably, would be to travel all over. I get some people do that, but in different ways, and it's cool. I'll figure out my own way of doing that. But back to this job for a year, this job for a year, and this job for a year. Somehow, whether they're completely related or exact opposite jobs of each other, I gotta figure out a way to make it so when you start here, end here, to begin here, end here, to begin here, and end here, that somehow they're all connected. That's what I want to figure out. I want to figure out a way that you could go from one job for a year to another job for a year, and instead of that being like a demotion or whatnot, that you can still figure out a way to get out of the way. Oh, you got me. Some people. That guy right there in the map is not letting me over. He's being bad words. That's another thing. Side note, and I'll get right back to my rant. I want to give you all a warning and heads up right now. I don't know if I already have or not. I can't remember. I want to give you all a heads up right now that I do swear. It just happens. It happens so often I usually don't even catch it. I don't mean to. I've been doing it so long in my life, it is literally second nature. It is my language. So this video will be rated R due to extreme vulgarity and language. Back to my rant. I want to find a way to make it so that I can go from one job to the next job and have it be straight across, like a level movement, or somehow a promotion in some kind of a way. I understand you wouldn't be able to go. You would probably have to do 401ks and stuff you'd probably have to do more IRA type deals rather than 401ks, so that you can go from one to one to one to one and have it all connect. The thing that's terrible with that is that it's only going to be your own money. We all like to think about the future. Investment is huge. So, I am an advocate of money. As everybody else, I'm sure, is. Everybody loves money. I also want it whenever I want to stop working. So the idea of going from one job to one job to one job, in that sense, is not so hot. So that is the point that I am trying to figure out, how to make it all somehow connect. If anybody's got any ideas, you let me know. Write them down, message me, figure out how to get a hold of me. I cannot believe I went on this long. Before I turned this on, I didn't exactly know what I was going to talk about, and I just kind of went with it. Again, this is just kind of a pilot. I want to see if it's going to do anything. I'll post it. Well, clearly it's going to be posted, or how else would you have seen it? But you all can share it if you find it amusing by any means. Dislike it? Let me know. Let me know what you don't like about it, so I can not do that in the future. But I usually get a lot of thoughts and do a lot of thinking while driving. So I think this may be a good idea, for me at least. If nothing else, video journal. Now, I'm just about to the gym, pulling up. I don't want to keep you any longer. So, one last thought before I let you go. I'd like to know how I did, but here's my thought. Hold on, I have to think of something. Trying to think of what to end on. It can't even be funny right now because I can't come up with something off the top of my head. Got stage fright all of a sudden. What is this? Alright, here's a thought. Just came to me. Those of you, I want to take a poll. Explain to me why you would rather pull straight into a parking space instead of backing into one. I read an article, survey, study once, long time ago. I don't remember off the top of my head the exact reference, but I'll find another one and I'll give you a reference. But it said, it was a study of exactly that. Well, in essence, that. It was that more people get into accidents backing up than they do, like backing up in a parking lot, than they do pulling forward. So my question is, why not take an extra minute, as long as you have it and somebody's not right up your tail, why not just back into your space so that whenever you go into wherever you're gonna go and you come back out, you can just get in your car and drive. I feel like most of the time when I park somewhere and I go into wherever I'm going and I come back, that I'm out. Like, I want to get in my car and go. So if that's the case, I can see how people would just jump in their cars, back up really quick, hit that, and not even look, and just happen to back into somebody. It's completely possible. I'm sure it happens all the time. I would prefer to take that extra second back into my space, so that way when I go into wherever I'm going and I come back to my car, I'm in my car and I'm out. That's gonna be all the time I have for today currently. I hope you guys enjoyed any of this, some of it maybe, possibly. Let me know. If not, that's fine too. I'll do something different if this is not gonna happen, but we'll see. Thank you all for listening. I hope I kept you more than just a second. I didn't mean for this first one to go this long. I don't exactly know how long I'm gonna end up making these videos. It's probably just gonna depend on the content and whatever the topic is. I hope this was entertaining for you, and I hope to have you listen again. Let me know. Let all your friends know. Have a good one.